What's going on, guys? It's your boy Darius. So, we're going to determine how to find a bot. Okay? How to see if someone's a bot, how to see if you're a bot, because it could be likely that you're watching this and you're a bot. And what I mean by that is, what a bot is pretty much someone that is unconscious, right? It is a robot. It is a robot, and it does what it is programmed to do. And the thing is that there are walking bots. There are people that are running unconsciously, programmed based on society, and they do not know what they are doing. Okay? And what I mean by that is that they're running with programs, and they're only doing what the society has told them. And so that is what a bot is. And someone that is awakened, it is someone that starts to be able to become aware of thoughts, become aware of the beliefs, becoming aware of the feelings, and being able to understand that you are the captain of your own soul. You're the captain of your own ship. And so that's what we have to be able to realize. If we're able to realize that, we'll start seeing that you are your own alchemist. Now, one thing I want to share is that, there is this law. All is mind. And with this law, it is understanding that everything is mental. And so, even you watching this on whatever device it is coming from the mind. It is coming from your mind. You are making me up right now for your own satisfaction or for your own experience. Let's say that everything that's going on is like all the people that are walking are NPCs. And you are the one, and this is your game, this is your life, and it's all coming from your mind. As within, so without. But the without is coming from your mind as well. And that's really what it is. I remember doing this practice where I would say, everything is a projection of my own mind. And what you're just pretty much saying is it's coming from you. It's not like the world and then you. It's all coming from within. And so being able to realize that, you kind of get to the point where like you have this freedom because you realize that you created all of this. Consciously, you might not know, but whatever is happening, it's coming from your own projection. It's coming from what you have created. And then it also puts you in the position where if you wanted to, you can't be able to create your life. Now, this video is a little bit everywhere, but one thing I could say about creating your life is being able to really just shift. You got to shift your frequency. Shift your energy. Because the thing is that who you are right now is an identity. And that identity has desires, it has passions, it has fears, it has a bunch of different things. And that's what creates the feelings and all that. But that identity is what gives you the pathway, the life that you have. So based on your identity, that's where you're going to go, right? Some people have identities and they can be able to go into a life as a janitor. And they have a wife and maybe one kid, something like that. But you could be able to shift your identity and be able to have an identity where you're able to live in a freaking penthouse and have all the cars, have all the women, and just live the life. But it's just identity. That's all what it is. But the thing is how do we shift our identity? We have to shift our identity by being able to understand what creates identity. Creates identity is just energy. It's just frequency. The thing is that behind everything, there's just frequency. Once you fit the frequency of what you want, then after that, the the form is created. And what the form is you could say the body. Okay, and let me see something right here before I talk about the identity. You see this blind right here? That blind is a frequency. And before it became a form, it chose to be a blind. Okay, it aligned itself with the frequency of a blind, and it became a blinder. Okay, you have to understand that we're all infinite beings. Everything is alive. So that blinder is alive. That thing is alive. It's all you, because you are all that is. Everything is all that is, experiencing itself in different forms. Okay, so that is me, but it's experiencing itself in a different form. And so what it did is just align itself with the frequency of that, and it became that. And so what I'm saying is that what you need to do is, if you want to be able to create the life that you want to be able to shift your frequency, because the frequency that you have right now is creating your identity, the identity that you have, the thoughts that you have, the feelings that you have, and then the actions, which then creates the manifestation of what you have right now, or what you're going to have. So what is the frequency that aligns with the life that you want? Once you ask that question, just simply be with it. Literally be with it. Don't ask any questions, even if it feels like it's going somewhere, like you need to fix it, like something needs to be done. You need to do another practice. Just be with it. Just like, how do you allow yourself to be with, let your heart beat? It just happens, right? It's exactly like that. You just be with it. Once you recognize that's the frequency that you want. And yeah, just stick with it. And you could be able to shift your frequency. And what happens is that what happened to me is when that happened, automatically what was happening is my feelings started changing. Because I started transmitting it, receiving different thoughts. Because it's just like with the TV, is that there's a bunch of different channels, and they're all playing all at the same time. It's just that which one are you attuned to? Because if you change the channel, there's something that's gonna run different, and that thing is still running. Like, all the channels are running all at the same time. It's all happening, but the thing is that whatever you choose, it runs. It's the same with once you change your frequency, you have different thoughts. So you're just changing the channel. You're changing your thoughts. Once you have different thoughts, you have different feelings. And then sooner or later, you change, the identity shifts once you just be with the frequency. And honestly, changing your identity is like dying. It really is. But honestly, you kind of get to the point where you become a master at that, and you can just have a bunch of different identities. But it doesn't matter. But the point is that you can shift your identity. And once you shift your identity, things shift. Because because the person that you are creates your life. So it's like, you don't really need to do anything. When you're 5 years old, are you thinking about what is my life gonna be? It just happens. You just start having these specific passions, and you just start taking action on it, right? So whatever you choose the frequency, now you just live the life based on whatever the frequency is. So yeah, that's a key right there. Honestly, I already talked about this. I'm just wanting to talk. I had to pause something. I had to look at the time. But yeah, yeah. Another cool thing is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to be able to breathe. Allow yourself to be able to have mindful breathing, because mindful breathing gets you centered. It gets you to be able to have energy of mindfulness, which then gets you to be able to be calm. And also it makes you be able to embrace pain. But what I'm saying is, okay, listen. When you are breathing, the more you breathe mindfully, you start cultivating presence. You start becoming more present in the moment. And then you start becoming aware of things. So in the past, you were unconsciously pretty much with blind, like you're just completely blind and life is just happening, but you're not aware. So you start becoming aware of things. You start becoming aware of your hands. You start becoming aware of, your talking. You start becoming aware of, where you're placing your attention, where, your heartbeat. So you start becoming aware of things, and then you start becoming a conscious being instead of someone that is unconscious. So, mindfulness is really good. Doing some breathing techniques, some mindful breathing. Yeah. So, I'm just living, bro. Like, that's all I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it, and life is getting pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm learning how to be able to place my attention into my hara, my center, and so I'm just living there, dude. Like the thing is that some of us, you can live in your heart, you can live in your throat chakra, you can live in your third eye, you can live in your crown, you can live in the sacral, you could be able to live in the root, and each one of those things have a different experience. Okay, because each one of those is like a power onto itself. So if you live in your heart, everything's going to be filled with love, and you might be going on a path. It might just take you into a loving path, right? But if you live in your hara, you're going to be centered, taking more action, and I think that honestly every person should just live in their hara. The reason why is because it makes you, first, it's your second instinct. So it's your brain. It's a second brain. That's what they call it, the hara, or the stomach. And also, it's your power center. So it makes you take action. So let's say you do take the action that I was talking about of changing your frequency. Once you do that, now you just need to be able to be centered, and so then you could take action, okay? Because I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm making this video, right? But I already know I'm the person that is going to have 1 million subscribers on this YouTube channel. Like, I already know it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I am already that person. I don't need to want it. But the thing is if I'm not centered, then my experience is going to be crap, and then I'm also might not take action. So it's really good to be able to focus on the hara, because your attention, sometimes it can get lost, especially when you're with a bunch of different people. It could be able to go in your thoughts, which is the worst thing to do, honestly. If you're placing attention on your thoughts, then you're getting into a chaotic state, because your thoughts do not need attention. That's what creates overthinking. That's what creates stress. That's what creates not trust. Because your thoughts happen by itself. And the thing is, the reason why you suffer with thoughts, if you do suffer with thoughts, is that you're placing attention to thoughts. Thoughts have no power onto itself until you place attention to your thoughts. So it's not good to place your attention in your head. Sometimes you're probably placing your attention into your body. I don't know. Well, the point is that if you just keep your attention in your stomach, realize that your stomach is your home. That's where you want to live most of the time. Not that sometimes you don't place your attention. Like, let's say you're meditating and you move your attention into, like, your body. You do, like, a body scan where you're able to go, like, this is my feet, my knees. But, like, you live in your hara, but you can still be able to do things like that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. And also just understanding that, like, when you realize you are consciousness, you start seeing that, like, you have infinite knowledge. Like, you just know it all. Okay? And then you start realizing you are God. Okay? And I'm not saying that you are Almighty God. Keep that, like, keep it in your head. Keep that in your mind, because the thing is that I got lost on that. Like, really got lost. Because there's the creator, right? You are not the creator. You are an image of the creator, the Son of God, you would say. But you're still like a God on earth. And so you start realizing that, like, if you are source, you're infinite knowledge, right? And so infinite knowledge just knows. And so when you stay in source, you get to the transitioning of, instead of thinking, you know. And then once you know, you're a God. And that creates power. Because the thing is that, like, everything that I'm talking about, I just know. Like I don't need to think about it. There's nothing to think. I don't need to ponder over it. But pondering happens by itself. A lot of people have misunderstandings of this, conception of what I'm saying. Things happen by itself. You are not doing anything because there's no you. If you're saying there is a you, who's aware of the you? And who's aware of that? And if you say, I don't get it, I don't understand, there's a shift that's happening, who's watching that? And the thing is that you want to be able to stop focusing on the scene and be the seer. Who's the seer? Who's seeing this experience? And this right here is called realizing what you are, not what is happening to you. Okay, my phone came out of no memory, but stop focusing on what is happening to you, which is your body, which is your mind, which is your thoughts, which is the experience, which is the world. Everything that's the identity, pretty much. But who, like you want to focus on the seer, the experiencer. Once you're able to do that, that is what you are. Okay? And so, again, there is you, and there is then the body, the mind, and everything else. So you want to come back to who you are, because who you are is all power. Who you are is wholeness. Who you are is completeness. That is what you are. Right? So you don't have to be able to try to fulfill that in the world. The world gives you like these nice, pleasant feelings. Like, it's a cool experience to be able to feel these different type of feelings of being human. But the fact is, those things come and go. It is temporary. It doesn't matter if you reach a feeling of enlightenment. It's just a mind state. Like, it's just different states, and they all come and go. But who you are it doesn't change. You see what I'm saying? But you could still enjoy what happens. And then you can also become a creator again. Like, you realize who you are, and then when you're using the body, you could be able to get to the point where you become a creator in this reality as well, while also just observing what's going on. So I'm talking about both. I'm talking about how to get to who you are, which gives you the freedom, real freedom. There's no other freedom. Then I get to help you to be able to create your life the way you want it and just become your own alchemist. Right? So that's the two things I'm doing. And then I'm also sharing mindfulness, which is something that you need. Because there's times where I feel like sometimes I'm not, being calm. So I have to be able to learn to breathe, give, compassion to my body. So, you see, I'm giving all those things. I have a consulting, one-on-one consulting. It's actually free. So go in the link, tap the description, press on it, and then see what we can do. But yeah, let's see. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Tell me what you guys would like to talk about. Yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and yeah.